Hello and welcome back to another Canva tutorial. In today's video, we're going to be learning how to create an effective and eye-catching YouTube thumbnail. A good thumbnail is essential to get your viewers to click on your video and actually watch it. So let's dive into it. Alright, so let's get started. Go ahead and log into your Canva account at canva.com, and once you're on the Canva homepage, come over here to the search bar and simply search for YouTube thumbnail. So, YouTube thumbnail. And Canva will give you a lot of templates that you can use for your YouTube channel as your YouTube thumbnail. As you can see, there are more like vlog style thumbnails, and there are also other sorts of thumbnails that you can use for each sort of video. So what you can do here is actually to go through all of those and choose something that is close to what you have in your mind. Otherwise, you could just come up here and create a blank YouTube thumbnail. This will give you a blank canvas on Canva that has the size of a YouTube thumbnail, so you can go ahead and create something from scratch. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to create something from scratch, so I'm not going to go with these beautiful templates. But you could also go with those if it's close to what you have in mind, and just change some pictures and the text and the fonts on it, and then just use however it is made. So the first thing we want to do here is to put a background to our thumbnail. You have two options. You could either choose a solid color by coming up here. So for example, if you wanted black, you could just choose that from here. Otherwise, you can type in any color that you want to choose and find it from here. Or we could add a photo to our background. And you can find photos on Canva by coming over here on your left to the Photos tab. And as you can see, there's a search bar here. You can search anything that you would like to use as your background. I suggest that if you're going to use a photo as your background, that you use a photo that doesn't have much going on and that is sort of faded, so that you can create the correct contrast between your background and your text and all the other images that you will place in front of your background. And you have another option if you want to use photos as your background, which is you can come over here to the Uploads tab, and if you have already some pictures that you have taken in the past that you would like to use for this background, you could just go ahead and upload your pictures by clicking Upload Files, and then you can just browse through your computer and choose whichever photo that you want to use as your background. For this video, I'm going to be using a photo as my background. So what I like to search, because of the vibe of my YouTube channel, I like to use aesthetic photos as my background. As you can see, it's already in my search here. So let's go ahead and see what aesthetic photos Canva has in its library. For example, this one's actually really beautiful. Let's see. So if you like one of these photos and you want to place it in your background, all you need to do is to just come over here and click on it. And once you click on it, it will appear on your screen. And then you could either just enlarge it by the corners. Otherwise, you can just right click and choose Set Image as Background. And then if you don't like how the image is placed on your background, you can still double click on it and then change the placement of your image. For example, I would really like this large leaf to appear in my background, so I'm gonna drag it a little bit above and then press enter. As you can see, I have this image in my background now. But as I said before, I don't like when there's too much going on in my backgrounds, and I want my background to be always subtle and faded. So yes, this is a faded color, but I would still like to add a little bit of blur to this image because there are some dark and light colors, and it might cause a problem with the contrast when I place a text on top of it. So select your background, come over here to edit image, and if you click adjust, here you can play around with all the features of your image, all the aspects of your image. You can increase the brightness or decrease it depending on If you want a lighter or darker background, you can increase the saturation, decrease it again, and have something more faded. I think what I have is already really faded, so I'm not going to play with that. And here you can also increase the blur. So let's see. I'm not going to increase it too much because I still want to see the leaf in the background, but maybe I can increase the brightness a little bit. Yeah. And let's see what else we have. Warmth. Not bad. Yeah, warmth. Maybe I can increase also the warmth a little bit. So there's no rule for this. You can just go ahead and play around with each of these settings and see how it affects your background, and you can stop when you are satisfied with what you have. So I think I'm gonna stop here. One fun tip here is that if you want to apply this same settings to another picture, all you have to do is to copy this set of numbers that you hear next to filter code, and once you copy it, and if you have, for example, another picture, let's say this one, and if you want to apply the same settings to this picture, you can just come over here to edit image, adjust, and if you paste that same code that we just copied, it will apply the same filters to another picture. So this is another really cool feature about Canva. Okay, so let's go back up to our background. Okay, so let's say we have decided on this background, we want to use it. It has this sort of natural earthy feel. So let's say this will be a video about gardening. So let's go ahead and add our text, which will be the caption of our YouTube video in front of our background. So to add text, you again have two options. You can either press the T key and the camera will add a text box on your canvas. Otherwise, you can come over here to the text tab and choose one of these pre-designed texts. Otherwise, you can also add a text box over here. So let's add a heading. I want it nice and big. And let's say our video will be about growing a garden. So I could name this video 5 Secrets to Growing a Stunning Garden. So yeah, it's a pretty long heading, but I think we can fit it on our thumbnail. So this will be the title. And let's see, we can play with the fonts and see what we like before changing the color. So let's see. This one is actually pretty. Okay, so this might take a little bit of time, so I might fast forward this part of the video, but let's see. If I don't find it in the next 3-4 trials, I'm gonna do that. This is not bad. I want a sort of chunky and bold font that will be easy to read in front of my background. So I don't want a thin font. This one, not bad. Let's see. Yeah, works. Okay, so let's say we're gonna use this font, and here you can change the font size if you don't want to enlarge it by the corners. And let's see here, if you come over to effects, you can add a background to your text. I recommend doing it if you're not using a solid color in your background, because this adds a better contrast to your video. So what I prefer to do is I would like to add a background in the same color as the whites in the background of my background photo. So let's see. If you want to sample a color from a picture that is on your canvas, all you need to do is to come over here to this plus sign, and take this little color picker over here, and as you can see here, you can choose any color that is in your photo, and in this case I want the white, so it's added, and then you will have a background that matches the colors that are used in the background. So I also want to change the color of the text itself, and to do this, come to this A letter over here, and as you can see, Canva already created a color palette using the background that I already have in place. So let's see if this darkest brownish khaki color will work with my text. Yeah, it works well, but I still would like it to be a little bit darker. So let's see if we can find a darker version of this by playing with it in this color chart. Yeah, for example, this brown is beautiful. Let's go with this one for now. Yeah. And I want to play a little bit with the adjustment of my text as well. So I want it more aligned. And I think it's a little bit better like this. 5 secrets to growing a stunning garden. Okay, it looks pretty good. Now all we need to do is to complete this design by adding more photos or Canva elements to the design. So let's say this YouTube channel is of a YouTuber that shows his or her face on their YouTube videos. So let's go ahead and find a photo and add it to the thumbnail. So let's say gardener. I really like this one, so let me see if there's anything else that we can use here. Okay, I think this is fine. So I don't like using a picture without removing the background on thumbnails. I think it looks sloppy. So let's just select the image and go to edit image. And here, if you have Canva Pro, you can use the background remover. But don't worry, if you don't have Canva Pro, there are many free tools available online that you can use to remove your pictures' backgrounds. So yes, Canva worked on it perfectly. Now the background is removed, and let's adjust the size. Looks good. And here, let's adjust our text positioning as well. So actually what I would like here is for my text to hug this image. So to do that, I want to first of all align my text to right, and as you can see, and now that our text and our picture is aligned perfectly, we can go ahead and add some images to complete our look. So let's see, I maybe can add this one. Let me see if we can remove the background from it. Perfect. So I'm gonna try to add it on this corner, or otherwise I can just flip it like this and add it here. Yes, and let's decrease the size. Perfect. All right, so I'm really happy with how our YouTube thumbnail looks. This is perfect for a YouTube channel about gardening, and let's try to preview it. Yes, This is how it would look on YouTube. And now that we're done designing our YouTube thumbnail, let's go ahead and download it. So to download it, go up here on Share and click on Download. And make sure you have PNG selected. Choose the pages that you want to download and then hit Download. And there you have it, a comprehensive guide on how to create a YouTube thumbnail. Remember, a good thumbnail is all it takes to get your viewers to click on your video. So take your time and try to come up with something that actually truly represents your brand and your content. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Take care.